Maybe? Maybe? I don't know. I'm still trying to figure this whole thing out, man. I'm not very good at this. Just wait for the phone to realize that I'm streaming. There it goes. Alright. Alright. I guess we'll just go with it, you know. Okay, so now okay, those are both visible, so if we do this, take this, and we go like that. Yeah. Alright, we'll keep that up there. I mean, it's not very important to the stream, but we'll keep that up there. Hopefully we can get this figured out. Discord. Okay. So, yeah, we'll just start. So, started up the trip, I suppose. I was headed up to Phoenix, down to Phoenix, I should say, to visit my good buddy Josh because he just had a kid. So I loaded this baby up. Don't worry if you can't see that well. I can't see that well, but you can see I got my backpack, my helmet, my gun, gas can, and this thing is loaded up, and then the saddlebags are full. You can see in the back, there's my car. It's my fucking car. My car has an Instagram. I love that car. And then here, don't really need to hear it. I don't even know if you can hear it. I might have muted it. It was just windy, but you can see I am toting along. I was saying some things, but you can't hear it because it was so fucking windy. All you just heard was wind. But yeah, you can see, got my nice helmet, got everything toted up. There we are. Headed out. We're just south of Pueblo right now, and it is so fucking windy that I have to lean my bike at like a 45-degree angle just to stay upright because the wind is pushing into me so hard. You can see the bike's kind of going back and forth, just trying to stay upright from the wind. It was about like that until we got to southern Colorado. You can see, here's another video. Me toting along. Who knows what the fuck I was talking about. Probably just the wind. You got me stopping for the first time. Here I am, bullshitting. Not really much what I was saying. Probably just talking about the wind. I think this is actually my first stop. I was at a gas station, right? So I pull up to the gas station. It was pretty funny because I wasn't used to just how, like, ridiculous the fucking wind was. And so the wind fatigued me. And it takes a lot more strength and, like, endurance than you would think to keep that bike upright in that wind and correct it whenever it gets blown around. So I'm tired, and I don't even realize it. I'm only like 2 hours into the trip. I stopped at the first gas station. When I pull up to the pump, I wasn't used to how heavy the bike was, and I wasn't, expecting to be fatigued. And I actually like started to lay it over, and I'm sitting there holding it like this, and I'm holding it, and I'm like, fuck, I'm not bringing it back up, right? So I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'm going to lay it down real soft. So I just lay it over as softly as I can, put down the kickstand, and then I had to pick the fucking thing back up and back onto its kickstand. The whole time, this dude's sitting there watching me do it, and I'm looking at him like, I want some fucking help, But I don't say that, I just look at him like, yeah, a little heavier than I'm used to. So I pick it back up. No big deal. Whatever. Fill it up with gas, and then I pull off to the side, and I'm eating some jerky and just, taking a break. And every gas station I stopped at, every time I stopped, there were people, saying something, being kind, for the first day. So this old couple comes up to me, and they're talking to me, asking me where I'm going and stuff. And I'm like, oh, head up to Phoenix. They're like, oh, we just had a son who drives trucks, and he just went down through Santa Fe. And he was saying it was pretty crazy through there. I'm like, oh, man, for sure. So that was the first gas station. I kept going. Nothing too eventful. Another video of me on the road, I think that's the same one twice, actually. That's weird. What the hell? Huh. I guess those are different. Anyways, so the second gas station I stopped at, there was this really cool van. And I asked the guys, I'm like, hey, can I take pictures of your van? And they had painted it all up. It looked really cool. It was a Ford Econoline, but like an old, like Aerosmith van. Look at this thing. Yeah, the resolution's really not that good, but it was a cool van. So I stopped and I talked to those guys for a little bit. They were, can't remember where they were coming from. They might have been coming from Albuquerque. And I think right about here we're in Albuquerque. By the time I got to this point, it got pretty cold pretty fast. I wonder why you can't hear it. Can you hear it? Why you can't hear it? Can you hear it? Why you can't hear it? Why you can't hear it? Yeah, for some reason you can't hear the video, but you can hear the echo from my phone, so I'm going to try to turn that down a little bit. But anyways, I was saying that there was an exit on the highway that told me there was gas and food. So I took the exit because I needed gas and food. And as you can see, this exit did not have gas or food anymore. It was basically just making fun of it, saying, yeah, I don't think we're going to get gas here. I don't think those work anymore. Yeah, just a lot of... You see a lot of gas stations and stuff that have been closed down, and I think that was due to the pandemic. A lot of places just closed down. So there was a lot of exits with misleading signs saying that there was, food and gas, when really there wasn't anything anymore. So that was kind of a shame, but oh well. Then we got 5 viewers. Make sure there's nothing going on in the chat. If you're chatting, I can't see. Oh, there is chat. Oh, it's Wild. What's up, Wild? And Gyro. If I'd have known it was an IRL stream, I would have been here sooner. Oh, you haven't missed much yet. No worries being late. Hey, thank you. I like that helmet. It's a nice helmet. Am I in the hookah lounge? No, this is my room, dude. It's a pretty cool room. Here, I'll tell you what. I'll turn on the light. You should see the walls. It's pretty cool. I wish it were a hookah lounge. I've never tried a hookah. I really want to try one. Here, check this shit out. The walls are painted black, and then I took a bunch of neon paint with glow-in-the-dark paint mixed in, and I splattered it all over the place. So there's like orange and pink and green and purple and blue splattered all over the walls everywhere. And then, so then the black light on my roof lights it up. And then when I turn off the light, all the glow-in-the-dark paint is like charged. And so it fucking lights up all glow-in-the-dark when you turn off the lights. It's pretty cool. My dresser that this is sitting on actually is the exact same way. I'm a pretty big fan. It was kind of like my dream room ever since I was like a little kid. So I decided to, make it my actual room. Tell you what, we're going to move the chat so that we can see it while we're in Discord. Oh, it puts the whole OBS thing on top of it. Alright, hold on. I think I have an idea. If we do this, and then we do this. There we go. Now we can see the chat. I mean, not extremely well. I think that's actually the chat from... Yeah, that's the chat from the actual Twitch behind this. That's okay. Alright, there we go. Now we can see chat. But, this is my chill-ass room. I'm going to turn off the lights again. My other house is not nearly as cool, but I do enjoy it because it's my own. Alright, so. We're just a little bit. Alright. So yeah, this was me. This is the gas pump video, right? Is that where we are? Yeah. So, like I said, a lot of places have closed down. So there was a lot of misleading signs. Thank you. It's actually a pretty cheap cigar, but it's delectable. So next, this is when I had reached Albuquerque, and you could see it started getting a lot colder. Everything was wet. I was riding into the storm. I hadn't seen any rain yet, but I was definitely about to see some rain. You can see it's wet. There's snow on the ground still. There was no snow on the roads, but there was snow on the ground, and it was dropping to about 25 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit. You Canadians can figure out what that is in Celsius. Let's see what Gyro said. Crazy to think I've become friends with a deranged man who rides bikes and loves cars on a game like Doki Doki of all games. That is true. I don't know if I'd say I'm deranged. I'm a little interesting, but I don't know about deranged. Then we're starting over with the pictures of the van. So it started to get to the point where I started riding through rain. It was freezing fucking cold, you know. I surprisingly wasn't getting too soaked. My legs were getting soaked. No, I said 25 to 30 degrees Fahrenheit. Not 39, that would have been that bad. But yeah, the rain, you know, the sun went away, so I didn't have any sun to warm me up. It was just fucking rain and, you know, wind. And that got me pretty cold. So I decided, you know, I got to Gallup. That's right, I got to Gallup, New Mexico. And it's just a few miles from the border of Phoenix. Or not Phoenix, but Arizona. And so I get to Gallup, and I stop in this. I stop into this little gas station. And the problem with riding in the rain isn't just the cold and the wet. The windshield gets rain on it, and then you can't fucking see anything, right? You can't see a single thing because instead of the windshield blocking rain and whatever, now you have to look over the windshield because you can't see through it. That's -3 degrees Celsius. Holy shit. I can't believe that 30's in the negatives for you guys. But, yeah, so you can't see anything. And then the helmet starts to fog up, so you can't see through that. So you gotta lift up the helmet visor, look over the fucking windshield while you're getting smacked with rain, and then you can't, you know, it's just bad conditions to be riding in. Low visibility, you're freezing, so you're kind of shivering, which makes the bike hard to control. And then you start to get, you know, fatigued faster. So I was like, all right, you know, it's getting to the point where it's dangerous to ride. And I wasn't like, you know, I stopped into the gas station. When I stopped in the gas station, I was like, you know, I'm going to keep going. You know, I'm going to make it to Phoenix tonight. But then I got in the gas station, and I'm freezing. I'm talking to Josh, and he's telling me how to keep my visor from fogging up, which actually worked. I put dish soap on the inside of my visor, and that kept it from fogging up. So I'm hanging out in this little gas station. I got all my clothes off, not all of them. I got all my layers off. I'm letting my leather dry out and stuff. Just relaxing in this gas station. The gas station attendants are pretty cool. They let me sit there for a little while. So I'm talking to Josh. I'm like, you know, with all these stops I've been making, I still got like 8 hours before I'm going to get to Phoenix. 8 hours in the rain, you know. It's going to be dark here soon. By the time I get to Phoenix, it'll be like midnight. I'm like, fuck this. I'm going to go ahead and get a hotel. So I stop into this hotel, and this will give you a good example of pulling into the hotel. Not this video. I trimmed it down. Let me show you. This video here, when I pulled into the hotel, there was a lake I had to drive past. You can see it right here. And I watched a car drive through the middle of this when I was coming into the hotel, and it was up to their, like, the top of their wheel fenders. So I'm like, fuck that. If I drive through the middle of that, I'm going to drown my bike. So I went around the very edge, and it still came up all the way to, like, midway through my engine. Had my legs up. Like, you can see, you know, I am in the fucking puddle. And this is the second day. It went down a little bit. When I went through it the first time, it was bad. So it just gives you an example of just how bad it was fucking raining. But I get into the hotel, and I was flabbergasted by how nice this hotel was. It was so nice. They had heated floors in the bathroom. It was called the Springfield Suites, I think. They had heated floors. There I am, all dressed up. This is the day after I went to the hotel. You can see how bad and shitty it looked outside. 8 o'clock in the morning. You know, I'm about to leave again. But it was a nice hotel. They let me take my gun in. That was pretty cool. Heated floors, really nice bathroom. I'm freaking out because the mirror has a light in it, which I thought was really cool. They had sprayers that spray your back and spray on top of your head, which was really cool. You know, maybe I'm just a poor man and this is just simple shit, but like, I thought it was badass. The light switches lit up red for the heated floors and blue for the lights. Yeah, it was pretty cool. Pretty nice little hotel. I mean, nothing crazy, but nice enough that it was really nice to just warm up, get a break. Fortunately, you can't hear the video, which is strange, but I'm okay with that. That's okay. Yeah. So that's just me going on about, you know, it was still like 30 degrees, but I wasn't going to stop. I had to get going, you know, get going before the rain started again. So imagine a lowrider going through there. Yeah, yeah. It's ice raining in Canada? It sounds about right. Yeah, a lowrider going through there probably would have like killed their car. So that was the hotel. This is me leaving the hotel. I recorded the whole thing, but I trimmed it down for you guys. As you guys can see, riding with the bike was very strange because I don't know if it's the magnetic, like the electronics, like are creating a magnetic field with the spark plug, but at certain RPMs, either the vibrations of the bike or the magnetic, magnetic field that the spark plug creates with the electricity going through the spark plug. But at a certain RPM, it would make the camera violently shake, which made it really hard to record like riding. You can see it right here. When I get up to a certain RPM, it's only at certain RPMs it does that, and then once I drop down to another RPM, it calms down. But it is interesting. Okay, so I made it from Gallup to Show Low. Now Show Low is my favorite town in all of Arizona. And I actually wasn't going to say the name of it on the stream because I'm hoping... I don't want people to go to Show Low. Don't go to fucking Show Low. Fuck off. It's a small town. It stayed small. It should stay small. And that's the best part about it. So I love going up there, fishing every once in a while. My dad did the taxidermy school out there. And so I got to go up there like every weekend when I was living in Phoenix and visit him. Such a great little town. There's an amazing little coffee shop I like going there too. I think it's called White Mountain Coffee Shop. It's pretty chill. Coffee, pastries. Oh, I can't read that. I want to give them a shout out because they're a great coffee shop. But as you can see, my bike is soaked. It was raining all the way up there. Arizona Mountain? Is that what that says? Arizona Mountain Coffee Company, I guess. Great coffee place. If you guys are ever in Show Low, granted, I don't want to send people to Show Low. People from Show Low would really not like me doing that. But if you're in Show Low, go to Arizona Mountain Coffee Company. They're fucking amazing. Such a great place. I was freezing my ass off. It was cold, it was raining. So I stopped in there for about 2 hours, drank some coffee. I was talking to this old World War II vet. He was a great guy. And it was just a really good day. A really good time, I guess I should say, because it's about to get really shitty. Now, I didn't get any videos of it, but in between Show Low and Payson, it was awful. Like, I don't even know how to fucking go about explaining this, but, there's some things you shouldn't do on a motorcycle. And I would say that riding through snow is one of them. And I would say you shouldn't ride through snow on a motorcycle. But I would say that you shouldn't be able to ride through ice on a motorcycle. Thank you. I like the shirt. Wild. And no, don't go there. So I ended up, in between Show Low and Payson. I avoided Flagstaff because there was going to be snow. It had snowed the whole 2 nights before I was up there. So I avoided Flagstaff, all I could, and I went up through Sholo. And I come around this corner in the pass between Sholo and Payson, and I could not have turned around. The whole way up there, I got cars passing me and flashing their lights at me. I'm like, oh, I wonder what that's about. You know, I thought maybe there was some elk up ahead or something. No, they were flashing their lights at me because there was snow and ice up ahead. I come around a corner and there's no way I could have turned around. There's no way I could have stopped because I would have slid out on the ice and died. You know, dry roads, dry roads. There's snow on the side of the roads, but I'm not too worried about it. I'm cold, whatever. And I come around this corner, and all of a sudden there's snow and slush, ice, right? Like probably 4 inches of ice, and then slush in between. And it started out, it was slush, and then tire tracks of asphalt in between. So I stayed in the tire tracks, and then all of a sudden it was ice everywhere. There's nowhere I could have driven that wasn't ice. And the whole time I'm like, oh fuck, you know, this is it. I'm going to crash. I don't know when, but you know, I didn't touch the brakes once. I just used my gears to slow down and speed up, and I was very slow with all of my movements, trying to just stay upright. And it was about 5 or 6 miles of this before I got past it, and there was no snow or ice. And I'm freezing my ass off. My fucking feet. My feet got to the point where they were so cold they started to feel warm, which means that you're possibly getting frostbite or experiencing the beginning of frostbite. So as soon as it finally wasn't snowy and icy, I pulled off to the side of the road and just moved around to warm up a little bit. And I got a pretty good video of the bike after that. So here you can see I'm sitting here, I'm talking. I'm like, this is fucking bullshit, you know. I had my visor up because even with the dish soap, it started to fog up because it was so cold. So I had the visor up, and then I have these little sunglasses that come down inside the helmet, and I was looking through them. And that worked pretty well, freezing my ass off. Here you can see, you could see the bike. I mean, just snow and slush piled up into everything. Everything had snow on it. Everything. The windshield was frozen solid. It was a solid sheet of ice on the windshield, so I couldn't see through the windshield. You know, everything's soaked. My gas can was falling off, so it was losing gas. Luckily, the gas light hadn't turned on. Yeah, it was rough. It was very rough. My turn signal's on. But yeah, so we got through that. I have no fucking idea how the hell I survived that. I shouldn't have, honestly. I shouldn't be alive after going through that. But I did. I got through it. I don't know how, but thank God. So it was that. Then we rode into Phoenix. After that, I stopped at the gas station in Payson and took off literally all my clothes in the bathroom, put on dry clothes, warmed up my feet as best I could, and sat there for about an hour, smoked a cigar, and just warmed up. And then there was these girls that had a flat tire at the gas station. And I was looking at them, and I'm like, you know, do I want to help? I was like, you know, I sat there, and they had no fucking idea what they were doing. So I was like, you know what, fuck it. I'll go help them change their tire. That'll help me warm up. So I walked over there. You know, I was like, hey, you guys need help? They're like, oh my gosh, yes, please. So they had a Chrysler 300, which I have a lot of experience with Chryslers and changing tires because my little brother has one. So I went over there, changed their tire for them. They didn't have a jack. They had everything else, but the jack was missing. So we had to walk around and find someone who had a jack, change their tire real quick, said whatever. All right, so they took off. I got gas, finished my cigar, and I fucking went along my merry way. I get down into where it gets cold, or warm, into Phoenix. Hey Q, what's up? Good to have you. So I get down to where it's finally warm in Phoenix. You know, I can feel it warming up. The snow's melting off my bike. And I see on the turns down into Phoenix, there's those girls on the side of the road, and their spare was flat. And I was just like, nope. And I just fucking went by. I was like, not happening, dude. I'm not changing your fucking tire. One, because they didn't have a tire to change into. And two, you know, they didn't have an air pump, and I knew that for a fact. They didn't even have a jack, you know. So I hope they're all right, but I was not stopping again to to do anything for them. You know, it's like, fuck that. There's nothing I can do for you guys. So, rode into Phoenix. It was great. I got into Phoenix, you know, whatever. Hung out with Josh for a little bit, smoked a cigar, went to bed, had a good night. Wake up the next morning, and me and Josh want to go get oil to change the oil on my bike. So we headed down to a local bike shop, and we got a nice video of all the bikes there. This is Screwy Louie's in Phoenix. Very nice little bike shop. They had a Honda Monkey, which was cool. You don't really see those anymore. There's Josh. A bunch of Husqvarnas, you know. They were the only place in town that had oil for my bike. My bike takes picky oil. It's very picky. And then we skipped to here. There's me changing the oil in my bike. You know, talking about how I'm in Phoenix. It's warm. The sun is shining. It was a very short video apparently. But yeah. Sitting here, changing the oil. There it is. Look how dirty the bike was from all that rain and slush, nastiness. Fucking awful. But it's a good time. Next, we have an awful video of me. Here's Josh's bearded dragon. I can't remember his name. It's like Smog, I think, or Smog from, is it Laggy? Oh, that's no good. That's no good. It's still lagging. It is still lagging. That's no good. I don't like that. I hate when it fucking lags. Anyways, yeah, it's a shame. I hope it doesn't keep lagging, but I think you guys get the memo. We're looking at Josh's bearded dragon. His name is Smog or Smog from the Lord of the Rings, the dragon, or the Hobbit, I guess. I don't know. The dragon that like watches over the keep of stuff. They named him after that. And then back to this. Here we got Josh's leopard gecko. You got leopard gecko 2. Her name is Lucy. She's hiding in this one. I guess you can't see her. She's in there. She's really pretty. There's more pictures of her. Smoke. How do you say that, Gyro? I don't know how to say that. Here we are, Josh and me cleaning the bikes. The bikes definitely needed it. So. There they are, all cleaned up. Can't really see them, but Josh's bike is like the little brother to my bike. My bike's a big old 1800 VTX, and Josh's is a little V-Star 250. Not to speak ill of Josh, he just started riding, so he needed a smaller bike to learn on. Mine is ridiculously big. I think it weighs about 800 pounds dry. That's without oil or gas or anything else. It's 800 pounds. It's fucking ridiculous. But Josh's little 250, it's so much fun, dude. It's just, you know, it weighs maybe 300, maybe 300 pounds, right? And it fucking, man, it kicks ass. That thing's so much fun. You can just throw it around. You can kick ass with that thing. If I had to pick between our bikes, I'd pick mine just because you can't really do road trips on a 250, but oh my gosh. If I lived in Phoenix and all I ever needed was something to get around with, I'd definitely take his car. I'm going to learn to ride before I get a car. Yeah, just be careful. And honestly, I don't know, having a car up in Canada and stuff is nice because you need something to drive in the snow. You can't drive bikes in the snow. I shouldn't have done it. Then we went to the Indian ruins. What are they called? Something Key Ruins. They're up in Phoenix, just north of Phoenix on Cave Creek. They're really cool. Everyone should learn to ride a bike at some point, agreed. If you do ride motorcycles, my one tip to you would be dirt bike first. If you can learn the dirt bike off road and you can really learn how to do it, I mean, you can throw that bike around. As soon as you know how to make a bike do whatever the fuck you want it to do, then move to road bikes because it'll be a piece of cake. You'll never be riding your road bike and be like, oh my gosh, I could have made that turn, but I don't know how. No, dude. When you learn how to dirt bike, you can make pretty much any bike do whatever you want. Now, granted, there are differences between like sport bikes and cruisers and stuff. It's going to feel different to ride those. But if you have those core basics from dirt biking, you can learn pretty well. And honestly, the best part about learning to ride dirt biking is you don't have to worry about what other fucking idiots are doing. You don't have to worry about some other idiot not seeing you and merge into you. You're on your own. You don't have anyone to fuck with you. Just kind of do your own thing. That's a good way to learn. You want a sport bike? Ugh. They're more expensive than being a 16-year-old getting my beginner and learn to ride first. Yeah. No. Dirt bike or motorcycles are definitely cheaper. No. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with sport bikes, gyro, but I would definitely learn on a dirt bike first. Learn on a dirt bike first. Sport bikes they're fun, but going from having it under control to oh fuck is a lot easier to do on a sport bike than most other bikes. Here are the Indian ruins, so you can see they like built up villages out of these walls. They like piled up all this stone and made walls. It was really cool. There was like a whole village on top of this ridge that was just you could see where the houses were, and that was really cool. So I'm surprised I never knew about this. Josh went up and showed me. I lived in Phoenix for 2 years. I had never even heard of this. I used to play around up by these things in these mountains a lot, but they had like little templates and or plaques that you could read. There's Josh. He's having a good time. He doesn't look like he's having a good time, but he was having a good time. But we rode up there and checked that out. That was pretty cool. Another video of it. Very cool. This is the best part right here. You can see just how well they had these built up, and then probably sticks and trees and stuff to make the rest of the roof and all that. But this is what is still here, 500 years, I think it said. 500 years later. These were built 500 years ago or so, they say. Another thing you might be able to see in the video is just how green Phoenix was. So they had been getting so much rain, which was very abnormal for Phoenix. And it was just green. I mean, I've never seen Phoenix as green as it was. And there was a big flower bloom. So like right here, you can kind of see just how yellow and orange, like the whole mountains. You can't really see them because it was kind of later in the day. You can't see them in the shadows as well. But when the sun was shining, the mountains were purple and orange and yellow. It was just fucking beautiful. And you won't hear me call Phoenix beautiful very often. It was just, ugh. And when you get into the mountains in Arizona, you can see they built up the wall here. When you get into the mountains in Arizona, it's just so vast. I mean, you can see all the way out to like almost Tucson from right here, which is, Tucson's out here. This is northern Phoenix, and Tucson's in the south. You can almost see all the way to Tucson, all the way past, all the way over Phoenix, almost to Tucson. From up here is just so gorgeous. And then over here is downtown Phoenix. You can kind of see the buildings. The thing about Phoenix is there's always a smog. There's always a smog from all that because Phoenix doesn't get a whole lot of wind. It's kind of down in this valley, and the smog just sits there, and it sucks in the summer. But the air quality in Phoenix is not very fantastic, but it was very pretty. You like the looks of the Ninja H2? Yeah. Yeah, the H2 is fucking pretty, man. And that's a fucking fast bike, so be careful. Bike looks like a Genji bike. Yeah, for sure. If I were to start out on a sport bike, I would suggest, after riding a dirt bike or whatever, and kind of getting the core basics down, I would move to like an R3 or, if you're feeling real confident, like an R6. Really good looking bikes, a little more power to play with, but you're not going to fucking kill yourself. You don't want a super fast sport bike, but you want an H2. You guys, it's like the fastest production sport bike the fastest production bike out there, right? Not the fastest, but it's one of them. The H2 is fucking ridiculous. It's a fun one. I think this is another copy of that video of Lucy for some reason. Oh, because we've come back. Not for starting. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, moving to the H2 would be cool. Start out on like a R3. Or if you like Ninjas a lot, start out on like a Ninja 400. The R1s are fucking cool. There's Josh's bike and its beauty. There's Josh. This is us leaving. I went down to the cigar shop and met up with my good buddies at the cigar shop. Zeal Cigars, if you guys want to go check them out. They had a nice box of the CAO Vision. So this has 3 drawers of these cigars. The boxes are so cool. It's got 3 drawers of the cigars, and then they got LED lights inside each drawer that light them up. This one's not plugged in, so you can't see it. And then CAO Vision lights up. It's a really cool box. One of the most expensive cigars I've ever smoked. They're fucking cool. Here's Lucy, Josh's leopard gecko. She's very pretty. You can't see it very well, but she's got these yellow bands and then bands of dots. And just so tangy, so very pretty. Really cool lizard right there. Pictures of her. Very pretty lizard. And then like a white tail. Beautiful white tail. So I just so happened to be down there. I didn't realize I was going to be, but I just so happened to be down there during Bike Week in Cave Creek, which was really, really cool to see. So me and Justin from the cigar shop. If you guys watch the Zeal Cigar channel, you'll see Justin. He's a cool guy. So me and Justin decided to go down to Bike Week and check it out, and got some really cool pictures of some Harleys. It was mostly Harleys there. I'm not a Harley guy, but gosh, I wish the resolution was better. But really pretty graffiti art on this one. It had blue on this side and then green on this side. Some fucking magnificent looking bikes. I posted pictures in the Discord of the bikes, so if you guys want to go, if you're interested in that, you want to go see them, you can go check them out in the general chat. We're back to the beginning. There was some cool bikes, and then this one had like rustic paint to make it look rusty and old, which is kind of a cool concept. It had a skeleton on it. Very cool. I don't know about bikes too much, but my dream car, I want to go to Toyota AE86. Yeah, those aren't bad. I want an MR2, dude. I know that's basic, but they had some really chopped out bikes. Look at these fucking choppers, dude. Beautiful bikes, too. I mean, I'm not a Harley guy by any means. I don't like Harleys. But I can respect art when I see it, and these were just fucking magnificent. And then I got a video, some of the bikes. This one had really cool, like, Aztec paint. So these ended up being in the bike competition they had. See, they got, like, these gold bands on this queen. Fucking cooler than shit, dude. Some piston art, or some motor art, I guess. Harleys are sexy, huh? Yeah, they look good. But, I'm not a Harley fan, dude. I want to make a bike like steampunk. Yeah, there was a lot of steampunk shit here. This is kind of steampunk, this art they did. Very cool. I like a skull, kind of gothic mixed with steampunk. Some shovel head. Yeah, some pistons. It was fucking cool. And then I missed it in the video. You can see all this art they have. Fucking badass. I missed it in the video, but above it were lights, like lamp lights coming out of the wall, and the lamp shades were pistons, which was fucking cool. Here we got some more bikes. This one's really cool to me because you can see the gas tank. You know, inside the gas tank you can see there's the gas. Got a little window. I will say for Harleys, there are a lot more. There's a lot bigger of an aftermarket for Harleys, so you can get a lot of like modified stuff and really like modify them. There's so much support for it. I love it. Oh, there was more to that video. You got this golden bike back here. I like the wheels on Harley. Yeah, not all Harleys have big wheels. These ones are very modified. You can put big wheels on anything. This one's cool to me because this is when Harley was cool to me. Back when they had the old stuff, you know, like the old Harleys, the 1960s and 40s. This thing's still a kickstart, dude. You have to kickstart this big ass engine. And let me tell you, when those things fucking rebound on you, they will break your fucking leg. It is insane. Yeah, more Harleys. These are more like stock Harleys. Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, real pretty. I love these headlights. Um, this was the bike competition, so these are all the bikes that are in the competition, lined up. I'm really upset, but down here at the end, there's a pink bike, and I didn't get a picture of it. But was it a 53 panhead? Don't ask me. I don't know a fucking thing about Harleys, but probably. I'm sure it was. I know there's panheads, knuckleheads, and all that. I don't know the difference. These two were so modified. I wish. Yeah, like I said, guys, if you want to see the pictures of these, they'll be on the Discord, but and in good clarity. But these are just fucking gorgeous. Whoa, I don't know what I did. Oops. Oh, there we go. Yeah, this one's an old one too. Let me go look at that one for you. The one that you were talking about, Panhead or whatever. Not this one. Definitely looks 50s. I wouldn't be surprised if it was a pan head. I don't know. Look at those heads. Are those pans? I can't remember the difference between the knuckles and the pans. But yeah, so pretty bikes for sure. You had to love them. They were very, very cool. These ones were the coolest though. They were so modified. I don't even know if you could call them Harleys anymore. This guy was cool because he had a helmet that matched his bike, which was fucking badass. He came riding in and fucking revved it up. Bike Week in Cave Creek was really cool. I'm glad I got to see that. Another really old one here, World War II era. Well, probably a little after World War II era. They actually did have a Army World War II motorcycle, which was very cool. Some older bikes here. This one had like a fuzzy seat, which is pretty cool. And then you can see here is an old, I don't know if this is old, but it's a Valkyrie. It looked really futuristic, dude. The fucking like V, like taillight was so cool, and just the head, I don't even know. Not my kind of bike, but it was so cool. And, or maybe it was a Victory. I don't think it was a Valkyrie. It was a Victory. Very cool. Very cool. There's another one next to it, kind of like it. So you can see Cave Creek is about, I'd say, 3 miles long. And both sides of the street were just fucking lined with motorcycles. There wasn't a spot you could park. It was insane. And then here you can see afterwards, me and Josh and his dad went shooting, and I didn't get any videos of us shooting, surprisingly, and that's my bad. But it was just so green, I had to take a picture of it. It was a really futuristic game that had bikes that looked like that one. Tron? I don't know. But yeah, it was just so green, and you can see out there all the yellow from the flowers. It was so beautiful down there. This is headed down the Carefree Highway out to the shooting range. You can see the yellow and the flowers as it passes. Just freaking phenomenal out there with all the flowers and stuff. It's so pretty. Right here, yeah, you see the flowers and stuff. It was a PS2 game, one of the PS4 VR starter games. I'm not sure. I'm sure Wild will figure it out. I think I'm off track here. Yeah, well, I guess so. We went shooting, and then just a few days. I was only down there 3 or 4 days, so after that I had to head out. So this, I got a video. On the way back, it had warmed up enough that the pass I went through with all the ice and snow had melted. And so I took a video of it on the way through. You can just see all the snow that was left. It's amazing what the desert can do. You know, in just 3 or 4 days, that whole pass was melted, but you can still see how high the snow was on the side of the roads. Riding through that was pretty rough on the way there. But I took the same route back because I was pretty sure it was melted by then. And luckily I was right. I didn't get any videos of it, but on the way back, I didn't take much videos on the way back because I was just trying to get home. But anyways, so on the way back, I got all the way to Raton, right? By the time I got to Raton, it was dark, and it was getting cold. But I was still trying to just make it, right? It was probably like 20 degrees. And it got to the point, I got all the way to Raton, I think. Yeah, or Raton, I don't know how to say it, but it's basically the border, or no, it's past the border. It's in Colorado, just past the border of New Mexico. And I got so cold, I started experiencing the second stage of hypothermia, which is when you get confusion and loss of coordination. So when I went to pull the clutch, sometimes I pulled the brake, and there'd be times where I was like driving and I was like, where am I again? And it would take me a few seconds to remember like where I was and what the fuck I was doing. So I'm like, okay, I need to stop and warm up, right? You know, this is getting pretty bad. So I went to, do you mean Wipeout? Because if so, those are cars. Bike reminding me of that game for some reason. Oh, Wipeout for the PlayStation? Never heard of it, but it sounds pretty cool. But anyway, so I stop at this little gas station in Raton, right? And I am fucking freezing, right? So I go inside to this little gas station, and I'm like fucking shaking violently, trying to warm up, go to the bathroom, and I decide, okay, you know, hypothermia is your core cooling down. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get something warm to drink and try to warm up, you know, inside of me. So I get this hot cocoa. I go up to the guy. I'm like, hey man, can I get this? And he's like, yeah, is that all you're getting? I'm like, yeah, just this. And he's like, it's on me. Don't worry about it. I'm like, damn, dude, I appreciate that. And so I start walking away, and I'm like, hey man, do you mind if I just sit in here and drink this? He's like, actually, man, you got to get out of here. We're closing. And I'm like, fuck. So I'm like, okay, you know. So I go out to the gas pump, and I'm trying to drink this fucking hot cocoa, but I'm shaking so much, I'm just fucking spilling it all over the place. And so I take as many sips as I can of just scalding hot cocoa. I just down it, you know, trying to get as much in me as I can. And I throw it away. And I'm like, you know what? I didn't want to get a hotel on the way back, but I need to warm up. Like, it's life or death at this point. If I keep riding, I'm risking dying. So, you know, I can't get a hotel because I'm not 21. So I call my mom to get a hotel for me. Like, hey, you know, it's getting to that point. I need to find a hotel that lets people who are under 21 stay, or will let you pay for it. So I won't say what hotel I stayed at because the clerk did me a favor and let me stay, even though I wasn't supposed to be allowed to. But you know, she let me pay and let me stay at the hotel. It was a fucking bomb hotel. I didn't take any videos of it because I didn't want to out that hotel for letting someone who was under 21 stay there, because I'm 20. Fucking 2 months I'll be old enough to get a hotel. Like, it's so fucking ridiculous. I can serve in the military. I can do all this shit, you know. I'm a fucking adult, you know. I can fucking serve in the military. I have to pay taxes, all this shit. But for some fucking reason, God forbid, under 21 years old, I get a hotel room. Like, fuck you. Fuck you. I'm a fucking adult, you know. No, I'm not born in June. I'm born in May. But, no, not June 8th. What the fuck? No, I was born in May. But anyway, so I get this hotel. It was a badass hotel. Really cool hotel. But I cannot. Is it 1 month? Oh, fuck, it's April, dude. I'll be 21 in a month. That's crazy. Yeah, it just became April, okay? I thought it was, used to it being March. I haven't gotten into April's mindset yet. But anyways, so stay in this hotel. I warm up. All is good. Take off in the morning. It was a shitty ride, but windy all the way. No rain, but it was a shitty ride. But I get home. Took a little picture at the gas station, or video. Here's my bike, still clean because we didn't see any rain, which was very nice. But yeah, get home and there's the bike all suited up. It was a pretty crazy trip, and no, Gyro, it is not May 19th. Pretty crazy trip, but it was a good one. You know, I'll say that. It was a good trip. I enjoyed it. It was definitely worth going down and seeing Josh and his kid, you know. Very proud of him. You know, Gyro, I've said my birthday on stream. I don't know how you forgotten that. Well, there's the stream right there.